Hey team, it's David Madron. I am glad that you could join me this afternoon, or maybe you are um, watching me from home or from your office, car. I'm not real sure, but we're going to try to do these once a week on Tuesday afternoons around 3 o'clock. Want to be as consistent as possible. I want to be as brief as possible. Also, today will be a little bit longer just because there's a lot. Okay, can't hear me. Um, it's good to know. Give me just a second. Okay, now you can hear me? Good. Maybe I need to turn it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right. So, anyway, today's going to be a little bit longer just because we have a lot to cover today. Anyway, today's going to be a little bit just to get you caught up, get everybody else caught up on what is going on. So first of all, this Sunday is Promotion Sunday. We've been talking about it for a few weeks and announcements and such. We will have some donuts, some juice, and some milk in each of our small group spaces. I won't be providing those things in large group, and I know that some of our kids might be missing out on that. But my hope in that is hopefully it entices them to get plugged into your small group if you're one of our small group leaders. Now, I realize that I am talking to three different groups of FirstKids investors, FirstKids owners, folks who contribute in some way to our ministry. I'm talking to our Sunday morning team this afternoon. I'm talking to our Sunday night team that will be kicking off in September, so next month. And then I'm also talking to our Wednesday night team. That'll be kicking off later this month. So we're going to cover those three areas every time we get together, because there's things specific to each of your areas that we want to touch on, but there's also things just in general as far as vision and just what we're doing with kids and families that we want to take the opportunity and be able to share with you. Anyway, we want to encourage our new kindergartners to get plugged into small groups. It's a big time of transition for them and for their parents. Got to meet with parents 2 weeks ago, and a lot of them are entering this phase of life for the first time. So we definitely want to walk slowly with them in this phase, in this time of life for them as they transition to having a child in elementary school. So we want to be intentional with that, and we want to nurture those relationships the best that we can. So we're going to do some donuts, juice, and milk in just our small groups. This week, our small groups will consist of kindergarten, first and second grade meeting at 9:45 in the month of August, and then our third and fourth graders and fifth and sixth graders will be meeting at 11 a.m. This month as well. So with that being said, I dropped a couple of documents into our group just a few minutes ago, and this will speak well to all of us. While the documents go into great detail of what our year will look like as far as curriculum and theming and those kind of things, what we'll be teaching on, the passages of Scripture and such, there's some things right there on that first page that speak to every one of us, that speak to us as a church, but really speak to us as a children's ministry in what we do on Sunday mornings, what we do on Sunday nights, what we do on Wednesday nights, what we do in any kind of special event that we're doing. Anytime that we get to gather, whether it's VBS or it's summer camp or a retreat we've got coming up in the fall that I'll speak on here in just a few minutes. We want to be thinking about these three things. First of all, you see that our one priority is to love God. We've got to show kids that. We've got to show mom and dads that, grandmas and grandpas. We've got to show everybody that at all times, that we love God, and we want to point their kids, their grandkids, their nephews, their nieces, their neighbors, whatever that looks like, their kids' friends. We want to point them to that at all times. And then we've got three relational motives. And this, again, speaks to every single thing that we do. On Sunday mornings, Sunday nights, and Wednesday nights, we want to move kids to love God by enticing wonder, move kids to love life by provoking discovery, and move kids to love others by fueling passion. And we have three unique opportunities every week to do that, to help them be imaginative and help them discover some things that they're really good at, to give them some tools that as they're going to school, they can help impact the lives of those that they are around. So we want to move kids to love God by inciting wonder. We want to move kids to love life by provoking discovery. I know without a doubt that we will do that on Sunday nights really well, but we want to do it really well, every time we're together. And then we'll also move kids to love others by fueling passion. One of our desires with the Sunday night programming, the First Arts Academy, is to provide a resource for families to take advantage of some top-notch teaching and time and investment from you as our leaders into the kids, into the community that will show up. There's, without a doubt, this is going to be a huge outreach tool for us to be able to reach some areas that we haven't reached before as a church, but to provide some things that are provided within our community, but they come at a cost to parents. And what we wanted to do is provide some of those same things that they could get elsewhere, and what other churches are hosting through some different organizations. There's other churches hosting this kind of thing. They're not sponsoring it or facilitating it, but they're hosting some arts programs. Well, our church is full of people who are deeply invested in the arts and in teaching the arts. So we want to step it up a little bit and offer our services, offer our heart to the community free of charge. Then, of course, with that, you may not get what you get with paid lessons or anything like that, but I know without a doubt it's going to be a blessing. It's going to be a blessing to our church, a blessing to the folks like you who are investing in that as leaders, as coaches. It's going to bless a lot of families in Lee Summit and all throughout the Kansas City metro. And that's what we want to do. We want to invest and bless those around us. Invest in and bless those around us. So you're helping us be able to accomplish that by just simply living out those three relational motives. These are our motives for everything we want to do. Again, move kids to love God by inciting wonder, and then to move kids to love life by provoking discovery. Help them discover what they're good at. Help them discover how to be a better friend or how to be a better sibling or a better child, or a better student, all those kind of things. They move kids to love others by fueling passion, and we want them to be passionate about the Lord. We want our kids to be passionate about serving the Lord, and so you are a big part of that, and I thank you for that. So I would encourage you to just spend some more time looking through those two attachments. We've got one for our 252 kids. That's going to be our kindergarten through second grade group. And it lays it out for us all the way up to next summer. And then we've got the second document that is sent out was for our 252 preteens, which consists of our third through sixth graders. And there's a lot of neat stuff there to dig into. So I would encourage you to do that as quickly as possible, and especially if you are serving with us this month on Sunday mornings, or if you want to circle your months or just kind of highlight those somehow. Whatever works best for you. I could provide some copies of this for you if you want to email me, david.madron@fbcls.com. If you want some copies of that, I'd be happy to do that. Whatever will help you, really kind of grab a hold of this and run with it. Another thing that we are going to be offering starting this week throughout the year and into the next year are grade-specific God time cards. I'm sure that these were something that was offered prior to me being here. We did it for a little bit after I got here, and we found that more of them ended up in the trash or the floorboard of the car or truck or the van than they were being used. But I feel like now is a good time to kind of relaunch that and to encourage folks to spend some time with their kids and going through this. The easier option would be to download our ParentQ app, which you can find on your app store, and our parents can find on their app stores. And it's got everything from babies through high school. It can speak directly into your kids' lives, specifically into your life and the phase that you are in. If you are raising a child who is still in school, through high school. But we're going to start. We'll start providing those again this week. And teachers, I'm just going to ask that you encourage your families as they're picking up kids. I know that I'm going to be doing that as they're picking up from large group, to spend some time going through these God time cards during the week. It's just a neat little devotional, neat little follow-up stuff based on what we did on Sundays. And then I also encourage you to have a conversation with your parents, with our parents, about the ParentQ app that can be found on their app store. And I'll be pushing that on social media really heavy this week and next week, especially as we have new parents joining us through promotion time. And speaking of August, I just want to touch real quick on our theme and decor, that kind of thing. Our theme this month is Respect the Rhythm. We are talking about the word respect, and we're going to do a drum line. We're going to have a bunch of drum stuff in our large group space and even in our hallways. You'll see that, some drumsticks hanging from the ceiling, and we've got some drum heads that we're going to put up on our pallet wall. If you've got anything band-related, music-related that you want to bring into your small group space, you're welcome to do so. or if you come across something on Amazon or Pinterest or something, you're like, Dave, this would be great for a small group space or a large group space or a hallway or something great to send home with our kids at the end of the hour. Let me know. Let's look into that stuff, and if we can find some great resources to send home, we want to do that. And then our memory verse this month comes to us from 1 Peter chapter 2, and it's the first half of verse 7. And I want to share that with you just real quick. Not verse 7, verse 17, just real quick. It says, show proper respect to everyone. Five easy words to really drill in and invest some time in this month with our kids. With them starting school, all of our kids are hopefully getting geared up mentally. I know parents are geared up mentally and geared up physically with school shopping and those kind of things. So as we go back to school, kids go back to school, we want to be talking about respect this month, and I think that comes very timely. To be respecting our teachers, respecting the other students, respecting the staff, respecting the buildings, those kind of things, and respecting parents. They're going to come home and I don't want to do homework or I'm too tired. Give us a list of excuses. You know what those excuses are. You hear them. You probably had said a few of them when you were a kid. But we really want to have some great conversations this month about respect. So show proper respect to everyone. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17, first half of it there, is what we're going to be sharing as our memory verse for this month. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17, first half there. Show proper respect to everyone. Just a quick note on our Wednesday night programming. Those of you who help us on Wednesday nights, wanted to let you know of a big change. And some of you parents who drop kids off on Wednesday nights, we want to make you aware first. And then I'll be communicating this stuff with their parents this week and next week as we gear up for Refueled. First of all, it resumes on August 23rd, so we're going to start a week later than we have the past couple of years. We want to, try to align ourselves with the other family ministries of our church preschool. They're going to start on the 23rd. Student ministry is going to start on the 16th, but they have a real neat thing that they're going to do on the 16th to welcome those kids back and to welcome kids back into the student ministry after the summer. And as most, if not all of you know, we are in a time of transition. So with our student ministry, as Aaron Huffman has left, but it's going to be a great time for them to cast some vision of the kids. Their need to serve, their need to belong to our youth group, their need to belong to our church, their need to be invested in our worship services, those kind of things. So great opportunities there for the student ministry. So they're going to be starting on the 16th, but we are going to start a week later along with preschool on August 23rd. We'll kick off at 6 o'clock. Drop off, parents coming in, getting name tags, that kind of thing. That's still going to take place in the gym. We're still going to drop off in the gym, as that's where we start on Wednesday nights with some kind of game or activity, some big, group thing. But we're going to move pickup to our large group room where our kids will be meeting together. So they will be picked up at 7:30 or taken to parents if that's what need be. If we've got parents who are taking part in choir or orchestra, we will get those kids transferred over to those appropriate places when needed. But we will be picking up kids in our large group space. And that helps us with a couple of things. The biggest thing is the safety of knowing where kids are and who they're getting picked up by, where they're leaving, who's picking them up. Definitely a lot more controlled there than it was in the gym, and parents trying to locate one of the leaders to line up name tags and security badges, those kind of things. But also, our students are still experiencing worship. They're in the Word, or they're singing. They've got something going on in their own space right above the gym, up in the loft. So us not being there by 7:30 allows them time to really finish connecting with the Lord in that time. So we want to help facilitate that as much as possible, because they need that time. They need that time together. They need that time undistracted as much as possible, because you and I know that this world offers a lot of distractions to all of us. So we want to be sensitive to them. We want to be sensitive to that time. So we're just going to do pickup from our large group space, and we are going to encourage our parents to not take their kids to the gym until after the youth are done. And even then, I'm not going to really push that very hard, just because we don't want a whole lot of interaction with the teenagers and the kids, just due to safety and size differences and those kind of things. So again, pickup will be from our large group space downstairs in the EDU basement at 7:30. And drop off will remain at or before 6 p.m. In the gym. All right. So that's it for Wednesday nights, for the most part. September 10th, morning services. Just wanted to share with our first and second grade teachers specifically. We are going to do our first grade Bible presentations in all three services, if we have families that want to take advantage of any of those three services on September 10th. So there will be a little bit of delay with our large group time and our small groups, or maybe not delay, but some interruption there due to the presentation of these Bibles for our incoming first graders. So that'll be September 10th, and we're offering at all three services. Obviously, the two services that would affect us are 9:45 and 11 o'clock. Then also on September 10th, from 5 to 6:30, our First Arts Academy, which, speaking to a bunch of you who are part of that, that's going to be our preview night. And that's going to be from 5 to 6:30. And as I spoke to earlier, the community impact of offering the things we're going to be offering at no cost is huge. But what we do need to know, we being Becky and I, what we do need to know is if there are any other resources that you are going to need. If there's some books that you need specifically, or any kind of resources. We're going to be ordering instruments in the next week or so. But if there's lesson books, music books, any of those kind of resources, please let Becky or myself know so that we can get that ordered. If you've got stuff that you want to send home with kids, we're not going to send home instruments unless they're bringing in their own stuff. That obviously that would go back home with them. But if there's anything that we need to send home with the kids, we want to make sure to have that stuff taken care of beforehand as well. So if there's any resources that we need to get you, please let us know so that we can do that in a timely manner. And then I spoke a little bit ago on a preteen retreat. This is going to be for our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And that's just simply because that's what the retreat facilitators are advertising the age groups to be. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. preteen retreat put on by Superstart. It's going to be October 6th and 7th in St. Louis. We would need to leave. Gosh, I know this probably means pulling kids out of school early, but I, just wanted to get some of you, aware of this. It starts at 7 p.m. That's a Friday. I don't believe the kids are off that day. I'll have to look at the calendar to check. But if we can get the kids registered by September 6th, their cost is $50. And one of the things that I want to really emphasize over this next year is our preteens. Because they experience things that the teenagers have already experienced, and our K through 2 group, K through 3 group really aren't quite experiencing the things that the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders are beginning to experience. And that's really, to me, a real sensitive time for them, a great time for them to really hear from the Lord about a lot of things. Salvation at the top of that list. So we want to do that, and that is going to be October 6th and 7th. It's in St. Louis. So cost is $50 for that conference, and then we'll have some hotel cost perhaps to throw into that, but that'll be pretty minimal. But we're encouraging our preteen parents and their kids to go, because I think that would be just a great time for them to have together. So let me know something on that if you are interested in going. Orange Tour is October 17th from 9 to 4 over in Kansas at Westside Family Church. I've been the last 2 years to Orange Tour. It is a great time of investment. It's a great time to hear the vision from the folks at Orange. And they've really, I was sharing with a children's pastor last week at camp, they've really grown to be more than just curriculum. For a long time it was just, the resources that they were creating was to help enhance and support curriculum. They have really gone above and beyond that, in my opinion, in the things that they are coming up with, their vision for things, for the church, their vision for pouring into the community, pouring into families, making kids and families a priority for the church, those kind of things. Really, really neat. But that is going to be October 17th. I would love for you to go. I think it would be great for as many of our children's ministry team members to go as possible. Just to hear from their team of what their heart is and how that could translate to what we're doing on a daily and weekly basis with their kids. So if you're interested in that, please let me know so that I can get you registered ASAP to take advantage of some pricing before it gets higher. And then finally, last thing, updating classroom space. I wish this was a conversation I had with you earlier in the summer. I'm sorry that it wasn't. I just want to apologize ahead of time that it wasn't. But I want to let you know that I have requested some extra money in the budget. Doesn't mean that I'm going to get it, but I've requested for it some money for us to spruce up our classroom spaces. We can't get real crazy with it because we are in the middle of trying to get a remodel pushed. But if there's things that you want out of your classroom, if there's decor that you want to put in your classroom, and I know that based on our schedules, we have multiple teachers for those grades. Let's get back together and talk about what we can do now to enhance our classroom space. to make it look more presentable. Things that we can get out, things that need to be replaced, things that we want to add right away that wouldn't cost thousands of dollars, across 6 rooms, 7 rooms. Let's have that conversation and, give me your ideas of what you want to do. I was talking with some 5th and 6th grade small group leaders earlier today, and we're not looking at doing much in there, but just kind of cleaning the room up a little bit. They're going to look for some art to put up on the walls. Going to put a coffee machine in there, a little Keurig machine. Because for 5th and 6th graders, that's where they're at now. They're I'm not going to keep it stocked with coffee. We don't need to increase the sugar intake and just the craziness and all that. But just having those pieces in there. Having a Keurig in that space does a lot, just presence-wise. It just adds a level of coolness to the room, a level of, hey, this is about me, this is about my age group, this is about us. So I want you to be owners of your space, not renters. This is your space. They're your kids as much as they are mine, just as much as they are their parents. And I want you to feel like you have the ability to do with that space, what you would like to do. As long as it's within a monetary reason that we can make happen. I don't want to share dollar figures with you yet on what we can do, only because I don't have an approved budget yet. But we can do some things now. I've got some money in this budget to where we could do a little bit to enhance each of our spaces. If you want to do that, I think it's vital that we do that. We not wait for the big remodel to take place. And miss out on some opportunities with kids and families. So y'all be thinking about that, and let me know here in this thread of some ideas that you have, or shoot me an email, shoot me a text, call me, pull me aside in the hallway, whatever you want to do, whatever makes the most sense for you, and let's spruce our place up a little bit. Let's get it looking better. Let's get it looking more attractive, not as dated as it is, and just a more inviting place for our kids. So anyway, love y'all. Thank you for the investment you make in so many folks. And what you're doing makes an absolute difference. It makes an impact. And I want to be a better encourager of you. I want to, just release you to just minister to these kids and families however you see fit. If they fit in with those 3 relational motives that we talked about, and moving kids to love God by inciting wonder, moving kids to love life by provoking discovery, moving kids to love others by fueling passion. If they fit in with those 3 things, then hey, I'm on board. Let's do it. Anyway, love you. Can't wait to see you Sunday. We'll have donuts and juice and milk in your rooms waiting on you. I'm gonna have a lot of fun kids. A lot of you are getting new kids in your environments. It's going to be incredible. Just take some time Sunday morning, just love on them and let them know who you are and how much you care for them. And we'll just trust that God's got some big results for us come Sunday. Love y'all. Feel free to get in touch with me with any feedback, and I will see you here next week at 3 o'clock, and it's not going to be over 30 minutes long. Hopefully it's not over 10 minutes long. All right. Love y'all. Grace wins.